Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chawanne Burns, and in this video, I'm going to give you 7 key financial terms to learn to manage your finances in your small business. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand this. So this is a basic overview of terms you might see when you're handling or managing your finances on a day-to-day. Why do you need to know about your finance? Okay, why do you need to know these terms? It's because you don't want to go out of business and you want to increase your cash, okay? Because we need to know our cash. Okay, so in order for us to increase our cash flow, we need to know what our cash flow is doing on a daily basis, weekly basis, and a monthly basis. This takes me to our first term, cost of goods sold. This means the cost that is associated for you selling the product that your customer buys from you. So if you sell it at $100, your price might be $50. Okay, so how much did you pay to get that product? And I usually include shipping and handling fees. So that's the cost associated for you selling the product. Okay, so suppliers, what the suppliers charge you. Okay, the second definition is fixed expenses. Now, so if you looked at my last financial videos, we talked about how to create startup cost summary sheet. Fixed expenses is in a separate section than the cost of goods sold. Okay, we're going to talk about cost of goods sold too because it falls under a particular definition. Okay, so fixed expenses is the sum, does not change on a month-to-month basis. That's example for your salaries, employees, rent, loans, insurance, car note, legal fees, advertising, and miscellaneous expenses. These in general will not fluctuate. It does not have a variance in them. I mean, variance like a large variance. Okay, so if you pay $400 for your car note is not going to change month to month. If you pay $1,300 for your rent is not going to fluctuate month to month unless you're signing a new lease, right? Okay, so those are fixed expenses. You're not going to go up and down in a salary, your own salary or your employee's salary, unless you gave them a promotion. Okay, and then that still will be a fixed expense because you know a ballpark of what that will change, so it doesn't vary. And we say miscellaneous expenses, anything that like subscription fees and stuff, those are pretty set in stone. Those will not change month to month. Okay, so that leads me to the next definition. Your cost of goods sold it falls under that, is called your variable expenses. Expenses that change and depends on some other variable. Example, cost of goods sold, installation, if you pay your employees commission, shipping, mistakes, and other overhead associated with sales. Okay, so those are going to be your variable expenses. They vary month to month, and you have really no control of it over it. And that's why the cost of goods sold is under there, because we don't know if you have to buy 1,000 products this month versus only 100, because it all depends on your sales, right? Overall, that leads you to a spreadsheet, which is called the P&L, or your profit and loss spreadsheet. The sum of revenue minus the costs and expenses. So that is your gross revenue will be at the first line, and it subtracts your variable expenses minus your fixed expenses. So whatever the sum of your variable expenses are and minus your fixed expenses are. for the quarter and the year. Okay, gross profit. Now, this is your total revenue minus your cost of goods sold. This is before our fixed expenses, okay? So your gross revenue is between before you get to your fixed expenses. And then at the bottom of your P&L statement is your net profit. Now, this really tells you if you are profitable or not. Because after everything is said and done, after all your gross profit and your revenue is minus your expenses, minus your fixed expenses, and minus your other expenses, this will tell you if you made a profit that month, okay? So I want to show you guys an example, our last term. First thing first, you want to always separate your cash, okay? When you separate your cash, if you follow me before, I'm always talking about that. If I'm talking about finance, you want to separate your cash. You want to have a business bank account. So put all your stuff in your business bank account. You should be getting a monthly statement from the bank, but that's not going to do. That's not going to help you out, at the end of the month. You need to actually look at your cash balance. So hopefully you have access to your bank account via internet and you're able to access that information. And basically your cash balance is going to tell you what charges came in that day, what deposits were made that day. So it's going to show you all the transactions in your bank account, not only that day, but you could get, some history on that, depending on your bank. Bank of America, you could get up to 90 days in real time. And then after that, you got to get PDF statements. However, that's not my point. My point is that you look at your cash balance and do a reconciliation. Reconciliation is basically, I know I had these amount of charges, the check for 1036 that came out, and then I had all these deposits that came in, left me with a balance of $9,572.69. But I know for a fact that my payroll tax is going to come out because I paid my employee. There's a rent payment that's going to come out. Franchise fees going to come out, and contract payment and installation. So that total amount is $7,932.50, will leave me a cash balance of $1,291. Okay. So $1,291. Can I go out and make a $1,300 purchase? No, I cannot, because I only have $1,291. If I do make that $1,300 purchase, Bank of America might pay it, but they will assess a fee of $35 for paying that transaction. So actually, instead of paying $1,300 for that, whatever, I will get $35 fee. So I'll pay $1,335 for that product. Okay. Or for whatever purchase I made. So in turn, if you do a reconciliation, in turn, this will help you manage your finances. This could be used for your business and used for your personal life. If you're struggling of how to manage your finance, do a bank reconciliation. You know what's going to come out. If it haven't hit the bank yet, you don't even got the money in your account. So only reason why I'm stressing this is what almost set me to a demise in my business, because I just wasn't balancing my checkbook. I was trying to keep everything in my head, and you cannot do that. Okay, people? So that was the end of my video. Let me know if you want to learn more about managing your finances and your business. My next video, I might go over the break-even analysis. It all depends on what you want to know about that. And you could look to the other video to see our actual profit and loss statement. I actually fill one out for you. So look, I will link that video in the description section. So once again, everyone, my name is Chawanne Burns. I am sending all my good to you, and I will talk to you soon.